So last year I came across these in the middle of the woods on the mountain in the forest, and you can tell by the way it's constructed it's from a long time ago, probably the 40s or 50s. And I was starting to think of all the different possibilities. It's like, well, maybe it's an outhouse. Well, why do they have an outhouse way in the middle of nowhere and put this much work into it? So it's the leftovers of a mine shaft. There's a couple of them out here, and there's a well point out here that I'm trying to find. Maybe somebody took the hand pump. That's what I'm guessing. But the flat concrete pad should still be here, and this is one of my survival spots because of that well point being here, and this being in a location in the middle of nowhere. It's heavily treed, and lots of wildlife. In fact, I just saw a young deer, maybe 120 pounds. Didn't have its spots, already lost its spots, but a very young deer, and quite friendly actually. I was able to talk it into about 30 feet to me, which is pretty cool. Anyhow, I'm going to pause this and show you the other spots. Alright, here's another one. It's been filled in too. You see the gophers made their home here, but this one was filled in a long time ago. I see you got some storms coming. That well point was either here or somewhere further out here. I should at least be able to find the concrete pad for it, at least. I have to search over there more, but with a bad left knee and a bad back, I have to take these mountains at a very sharp diagonal, which is a lot more footwork. But I can't go up these things vertically as much as I'd like to. There's the trail. And you can probably hear how breathless I am. Here's the broken fence line, which serves for me as a marker. I'm up there. Alright. Wow. There's the other point. Finally. Took forever to get here. Look at that, it's pretty darn close. Pretty darn close considering once I found that broken fence line, I knew I was close. That one only got filled in a little bit. There's more along the side of the hill. Some were air shafts. Most of them were air shafts actually. But yeah. This goes back over 100 years ago when this stuff was getting taken out of here. Some people just like to have the mineral, the raw mineral, which is really hard to find these days anyhow, unless they're actually mining it. This stuff's a bitch to climb through. I'm standing vertical and my hand is on the hill, and I'm standing vertical and my feet are down here. That's how much of an incline this is. The video doesn't really show how much of an incline it is. I guess you could tell by the trees growing vertical, but this is typical of this area. But yeah, last year I got a little over 10 pounds of raw ore. So cool to be here. Finally get here. So yeah, this is this other shaft. Most people haven't a clue what went on here over 100 years ago. I mean, even the ranger, when I bumped into him, he had no clue about these things, you know. So this one got filled in And this, if you dig down deep enough, you get to a platform where it's concrete filled in. You can tell that this was put in a long time ago. Look at that. Old square bolt. But yeah, this is a typical size that they'd make these. And some of the other ones that I found nearby are filled in because you wouldn't want anybody just walking, as it more of the forest floor gets filled up with leaves and debris and pine needles. Somebody just to fall into one of these. Most of them are only about 8 to 12 feet deep. Most of them have been filled in. And there's another one up there. I gotta rest up before I get my energy to go up to get that one. I'm still looking for the well point because I think somebody stole the hand pump. Huge antique hand pump that was on it. I forget what the date was stamped in it, but it was before the 1900s. It was like 1880 something. And back then stuff was made real with real iron steel. And it was in good shape. Not functioning because the water table level is kind of low right now. In last year. So my whole purpose in being out here right now is actually looking for that well point, because if I can't find that well point and mark it on my GPS, then I need to put this further in the back of a survival location, because I have other ones that are marked. But this is a great spot because even if they came in here, if somebody came in looking for someone, they ain't gonna find you. And you can find anybody if you use thermal, of course. But they're not going to look for you with thermal out here. This is the middle of nowhere. And there's deer. Lots of deer. Abundant wildlife. There's wild cats. Although I never hit a cat before. But deer. There's abundant deer. And all kinds of wildlife of different sizes out here. Looks like we're going to rain. Looks like it's going to rain. But yeah, I gotta find that low point. And I have my shovel back at the car, and my metal detector. If I get the energy up after the weekend passes, because this is Sunday, like Tuesday or Wednesday, once traffic slows down, then I'll probably come back out here and dig a little bit, depending upon how I feel. That's how they used to make fences in the old days. And that's a marker too, of course. That's a marker for this point here. You'd use something like that to mark this spot off. I have yet to climb to the top of this hill. It's a lot of work. But I'm curious to see what's on the other side. Obviously, it'll just be another valley. Yeah, we need to cover this up though. I didn't last year because I was in a hurry to get out of here and I was tired and beat and sore. So I need to lay a bunch of logs on top of it so no wildlife get trapped in here. They can get hurt. And this turned into a long video. I didn't mean for it to be. So I'm going to shut this down. It just sucks walking on this stuff. It is so rugged. Maneuvering through this shit just sucks. I GPS marked that. Finally. I have to find the well point. It's just, I think, over here more. It's no fun going on this terrain. Now you can see why I walk up these at such a tight diagonal. But yeah, it was up somewhere up in there. See where the fence was though, right up there. And going through this kind of rugged terrain, it tears you up. You can probably hear me huffing and puffing. And I push record after I rest for a bit. Oh man, I gotta find this well point. It's gonna start raining pretty soon. I just happened to be looking in the monitor, the camera. You can see how vertical this is by looking at these trees that grow. This is rugged land. And I'm unzoomed all the way. Alright, let's save some film. It's gonna rain. It's thundering. All kinds of little baby oaks. They're very tiny. Not that big. Oh man. Is that it? No, it's just a tree stump. Take care, guys. It's always good to leave a video like this in case something happens to me. Then maybe somebody might be curious outside of stealing the phone and play the video and find out what I was up to. Take care. I love y'all. Have a good one. Enjoy.